Hey guys, Paul Seaton here from Books 2 CFO Advisory Services, coming at you on Sunday, March 28th, 2020. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and the reason I make note of that is because this information is time sensitive and you need to be aware of it now. So, today I'm going to be talking about the CARES Act, which was signed into law on Friday, March 26th by the President. I'm going to be talking specifically about two forms of stimulus that are available to independent contractors, to sole proprietors, and to small businesses. So, without further ado, the first form of stimulus I'm going to be talking about is being referred to as the PPP program, the Paycheck Protection Program. This is in section 1102 of the bill. It's essentially the very first piece of the legislation. If you read it for yourself, I will include a PDF to the text that the President signed, and I will highlight this section for you so that you don't miss it. So, Paycheck Protection Program, what is there to know about it? Well, first and foremost, this program is going to be administered by banks. Yes, any bank, any FDIC insured institution. There was speculation as this bill was being drafted that it would only be administered by SBA, Small Business Act partnering banks, but that is not the case. In the final piece of the text, it said that the government now holds the authority to allow any FDIC insured institution to participate in this program. So no, all of the red tape that some of you might be familiar with dealing with when it comes to SBA loans, that is not part of the PPP program. So be in contact with your banks about this. I've talked to a few bank executives about what they're going to be looking for to obtain one of these loans, and I have heard that they will have checklists available either Monday or Tuesday regarding what you will need. I will tell you right off the bat, you will want your payroll information for the last 12 months at least. That's going to determine your eligible borrowing amount. But I will also add that I think that the documentation is going to be very minimal for this because time is of the essence. Small business owners, sole proprietors, independent contractors need money now. And these loans are 100% backed by the federal government, which means that bank lending this money have zero risk. And on top of that, they're getting a fee for just giving you the money. So they have all the incentive in the world to make this process very simple, very streamlined, and quick. As I've heard some people say, the bank should essentially be acting as a ATM for people that are qualified to borrow. So banks are administering the loans. They are 100% forgivable. That's just the bottom line. You have to use the proceeds within 8 weeks on qualified business expenses, but if you play your cards right, if you spend the money on payroll overhead, on rent or utilities, all of the money that you borrowed is 100% forgivable. The end. That's kind of the short story. So I'm going to be including a document below that summarizes all of this information and goes into more detail on it. But yes, this is 100% forgivable. The max amount you can borrow on this program is $10 million. Like I said, you can use this money on qualified expenses, and it is forgivable. I'll go into more detail on that on my summary page. Last but not least, you need to know that this money will run out. It will. Why? Because there's only $350 billion available. I know to some of you that sounds like a ton of money. It is. But there are 30 million small businesses in America, and this money is going to go fast. So not only are there 30 million small businesses, but there are also a ton of independent contractors and sole proprietors that will be able to get their hands on this money. So talk to your banker now, hound them, email them, call them, get them on the phone. Make sure you are one of those parties in line to get access to this money. Second program, the EDL, the Economic Disaster Loan, otherwise referred to as the Economic Injury Disaster Loan through the SBA website. This money is not being facilitated by banks. This is being facilitated directly through the SBA. This money is partially forgivable. What do I mean by that? Well, this program is much more of a true loan in the sense that anything you borrow over $10,000 will act as a loan. You will have to pay it back over time. The terms are very favorable because the interest rates are low and you have a long time to pay it off. But for a lot of small businesses, what they really need to be aware of for this program is that the government has set aside $10 billion, so it's a lot less money available than in the PPP program, for grants to be facilitated to applicants of this program. When I say applicants, if you apply for this program and you are denied, you can be denied. The government still holds the right to advance you $10,000 and completely forgive that advance. It's like it never happened. They're not counting it as taxable income. You heard that right. So you can apply for this right now. However, as of this morning, there was a page on the SBA website said that you can apply for these loans right now. There are a couple pieces of documentation and forms that you would need to fill out. I will make those very clear on what they need to be, whether or not you're a sole proprietor or a small business. However, they are working on setting up an application for you to also get this $10,000 advance. That is not on the website yet. Like I said, it's about 11 o'clock on Sunday, March 28th. But keep your eye closely on the SBA website so that you can get your hands on this $10,000 advance. So for both of these programs, you need to know the money will run out. It's in limited supply. Like I said, for the EDL loan, there's only $10 billion available, which would imply that, the first million applications that apply for this will get the $10,000 advance, and that's that. So I have a feeling if these programs are really successful and they get funds in people's hands very quickly, the government might expand this program, but there's no telling. So you'd rather be safe than sorry and apply now. So feel free to reach out to me directly if you have any questions. My email is paul, Paul, at books2cfo.com, BOOKS 2, as in the number 2, CFO.com. Thanks, guys.